while I know that you work exclusively with women and I work primarily with couples, my experience in my version of this empowering work is it applies to men as well. In other words, there are times when men really want to work on their relationships and on their marriages in a heteronormative context. I think there's actually more and more of a trend as women are so much more ambitious or their ambition has a place for expression and they are professionally successful, that provides a context where I have a good number of men who read my book and reach out to me and want to do this work. And sometimes their wives just aren't interested or aren't available. And so the work begins with the man. And I have seen such beautiful results when a man takes personal responsibility for his happiness and pays more attention to what his woman actually wants, whether or not she's conveying that explicitly and regardless of her tone when she does so. So my question for you is, knowing that you work exclusively with women and that there are these wonderful gifts that come with being someone with feminine biology and ways, which, as you and I would agree, includes being powerful and eloquent, but it includes a lot of things related to intuition and emotional brilliance, as you said. So I'm wondering, in this conversation, which I know men will listen to, do they just have the treat, the delightful opportunity to hear two women talking about things that apply just to women? Or for a man listening, is there something that you would invite him to take up as well?
I think one thing that I can offer to men is the validation of, I think one of the things that was astonishing to me to recognize, to realize, and it took me a long time to figure it out about men, is that, what happened is I asked thousands of men this question. The question was, how important is it to you that your wife is happy? So I've asked thousands of men, and they all said the same thing. They all said it's very important, or it's the most important thing. In the UK, they said it's imperative. So across the board, there was this answer, right? And it's interesting because I know when my marriage was broken down, I really was convinced that my husband didn't care about my happiness at all. And a lot of my students will say the same thing. Oh no, he doesn't care. He really doesn't. And happily, we were all wrong. So when the wife learns a few of these skills, and you touched on them beautifully, Alexandra, like no matter what her tone, no matter how she's responding, what is it she really wants, even though she's not communicating it. And that's a lot of what we talk about in the intimacy skills, like how to express your desires in a way that inspires. And so I'll give you a little example. Like one of the things I used to do in the bad old days, I didn't know how to express my desires in a way that inspired us. So I used to just complain to my husband. So I would say things like, John, this kitchen is a disaster area. And I thought he would jump up off the couch, turn off the TV, and come and clean the kitchen. And you're smiling because that never happened, right? We know that's not how it works. And I don't even
I'm
think
also smiling because I evolved from that to say to my husband, do you want to clean the kitchen? And he just would look at me, do I want to? like that? No. That was a nicer version. Same fail.
Same fail. So there's lots of ways to say it wrong. And so my particular one, I think my particular one was maybe one of the worst because a disaster, right? It's like over dramatized, complaining, criticizing sort of thing. So anyway, I have a theory that, men especially, but maybe no one can really hear us when we're complaining, right? It's like, John, wow, 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 like the Peanuts parents or something. So, anyway, finally I learned this magical formula, which honestly, if you're listening and you want a powerful formula for igniting your husband's hero gene, here it is. Write it down. It's, I would love, and then just the final outcome. Just the final outcome, not the how. So I finally said, one night I just said, I would love a clean kitchen. That's all I said. That was it. And he goes, okay, I'll clean it. And he did. And he's been doing it ever since. It's been over 20 years. I never do the dishes at my house. My husband always does it. Why? Because he knows it makes his wife happy. What does he care about? What is the most important thing? Or what is imperative to him? To make his wife happy. So this was a happy discovery for both of us, right? Because he feels good getting to be my hero. In fact, that makes him feel loved. And I'm very appreciative about the dishes. I thank him almost every day. Like, wow, this kitchen looks so clean. This is so beautiful. Try not to take that for granted because he's really making my life so much better by doing that.